let's dive into the life and legacy of the King of Pop, Michael Jackson. You wanted to go beyond the hits.
Yeah.
And really try to understand the music and his impact on the world. And so we're taking a trip through Beyond Moonwalk, the life and legacy of Michael Jackson, a podcast from the Legends Unfolded series. So let's see what we can unearth.
It's a wild ride.
Yeah.
Full of talent, innovation, and frankly, a lot of heartbreak.
Yeah, it's a story that starts in Gary, Indiana, back in 1958. Michael was the 8th of 10 children. Can you imagine the energy in that house?
Oh, yeah, a musical household for sure.
Right.
Deeply religious and completely immersed in music.
Yeah.
But you know what's really fascinating is the role of Michael's father, Joe Jackson, a former boxer with a passion for music. He saw the potential in his children's musical talents, and he pushed them hard.
Yeah.
Sometimes too hard, shaping them into a powerhouse group.
I've heard stories.
Yeah.
And it makes you wonder, what's it like for a kid barely 10 years old to have the weight of a whole family's dreams on his shoulders? That's the kind of pressure Michael was dealing with.
Absolutely. The Jackson Five, originally called the Jackson Brothers, were formed by their father with Michael as the lead vocalist.
Wow.
So picture this. A child barely out of elementary school fronting a group that would become a national phenomenon.
Yeah, their music was everywhere. I Want You Back, ABC, The Love You Save, I'll Be There.
Huge hits.
Massive hits. And they captured a certain energy and innocence.
Yeah.
Defined a generation.
And it wasn't just kiddie pop.
No.
These songs had incredibly sophisticated arrangements and harmonies.
Right.
With catchy melodies that were both fun and musically complex.
You don't realize it as a kid, but the musicality was there from the beginning.
Yeah.
And they were working constantly balancing this intense performing and recording schedule with school and rehearsals.
There are stories about Michael's ability to capture an audience even as a young child. People who knew him back then talk about his stage presence. How he could pick up complex dance moves almost instinctively.
Like he was born to perform.
Exactly. That raw talent was nurtured and shaped by the Motown machine, which, for those who don't know, was more than just a record label.
Right.
It was a hit factory, a system that churned out stars and meticulously crafted their image.
It's almost like a Hollywood studio system.
For music. And while Motown helped the Jackson 5 achieve incredible success, it also meant a very controlled environment.
Yeah.
Their childhood wasn't exactly normal.
Right. There is this constant tension between the joy of making music and the pressures of fame and control.
Yeah.
He was a child star, carefully managed by his father and the record label.
Which makes his journey to break free and become a solo artist even more fascinating.
Yeah.
It's a story of artistic evolution and self-discovery, even as a teenager. Michael was exploring solo projects. He released his first major solo album, Got to Be There, in 1972.
But it was Off the Wall in 1979 that marked a real turning point. That's when he teamed up with the legendary Quincy Jones.
That's right. And this is where things get really interesting.
Okay.
Off the Wall was a sonic revelation.
Yeah.
It took elements of pop disco and funk and blended them into something fresh and exciting. Think about the groove in Don't Stop Till You Get Enough, or the sheer joy and energy in Working Day and Night.
Oh, yeah, those songs are infectious.
Right.
What did Quincy Jones bring to the table that made such a difference?
Well, Jones was a master of musical fusion. He could take diverse genres and weave them together seamlessly.
Wow.
He also brought a sophisticated production style, layering instruments and vocals to create a rich, textured sound that was both innovative and commercially appealing.
And this was just the beginning for Michael. You can hear the confidence and creative freedom blossoming. He was finding his own voice as an artist.
The success of Off the Wall set the stage for Michael's next chapter one that would catapult him to legendary status, Thriller. Thriller wasn't just an album, it was a cultural phenomenon.
Yeah.
It broke records, shattered expectations, and redefined what pop music could be.
I remember seeing the Thriller video for the first time as a kid, and it was like nothing I'd ever seen before.
Oh, yeah?
A mini movie with zombies, amazing dance sequences, and that red jacket.
It's one of the most iconic music videos of all time, and it really pushed the boundaries of what a music video could be.
Yeah.
Michael had a vision, and he collaborated with director John Landis to bring it to life. It wasn't just a promotional tool.
Right.
It was an art form.
And the music of every song on that album was a hit. Beat It, Billie Jean.
Right.
Wanna Be Startin' Something. Human Nature. Each one had its own unique sound and feel.
Yeah.
But they all worked together seamlessly.
Exactly. And those songs weren't just catchy tunes.
Yeah.
Beat It addressed gang violence while Billie Jean explored themes of paranoia and celebrity obsession.
Oh, wow.
Michael was using his platform to tackle complex issues, even if people didn't always realize it.
It's easy to get caught up in the spectacle, but the substance was definitely there, and he kept pushing forward, experimenting and evolving with each album.
His next album, Bad, released in 1987, was another massive hit. It had a harder edge, a grittier sound, and even more elaborate dance moves. Remember the anti-gravity lean in the Smooth Criminal video?
Oh, yeah, that was mind-blowing. It's like he defied physics, and he was collaborating with top-notch directors and choreographers.
Yeah.
Martin Scorsese even directed the Bat short film.
That's right. Michael was a visionary, always pushing the creative boundaries. He was also deeply involved in the production of his music videos, meticulously crafting every detail. But as his career continued to skyrocket, Michael's personal life became more complicated.
Yeah, he was constantly in the spotlight. The media scrutiny was intense.
It was.
And the rumors and speculation seemed to grow with each passing year. It makes you think about the price of fame, how it can distort perceptions and turn even the most well-intentioned individuals into targets.
Imagine living in a fishbowl where every move you make is analyzed and criticized. That's what Michael faced. It had to take a toll.
Absolutely. And his changing appearance, particularly his skin tone, became a source of constant speculation. People didn't understand what was happening, and the media often fueled the rumors.
It wasn't until the 1990s that Michael revealed he had vitiligo, a skin condition that causes loss of pigmentation. But by then, the damage was done. The constant scrutiny and speculation had a profound impact on his mental health and public image.
It's heartbreaking to think about the pressure he was under. The feeling of being misunderstood, but he never stopped creating.
No, he didn't. His music continued to evolve, reflecting his personal struggles in the changing world around him. His 1991 album, Dangerous, touched on themes of social justice and environmentalism. And it featured some of his most complex and experimental music yet.
Songs like Black or White and Heal the World were huge hits, but they also had a deeper message. There were calls for unity, tolerance, and understanding.
Exactly. Michael was using his music to address important issues and challenge societal norms. He was also becoming more outspoken about the racism and prejudice he'd experienced throughout his life.
But the negative press continued, and in the mid-1990s, Michael faced legal allegations that further tarnished his reputation.
These allegations and the subsequent media frenzy had a devastating impact on Michael. Both personally and professionally, he became increasingly reclusive, withdrawing from the public eye.
It seemed like the world was more interested in the scandal than the man himself.
It's a reminder that even the most iconic figures are vulnerable and that fame can be a double-edged sword.
It's a dark chapter in his story.
Yeah.
But it's also a reminder of the complexities of fame and the importance of approaching such situations with sensitivity and nuance.
Absolutely. And as we move into the later years of Michael's life, we'll see how he navigated these challenges, how he tried to reclaim his narrative, and how his music continued to be a source of strength and solace.
The early 2000s were a difficult time for Michael. You know, he faced financial struggles, legal battles, and declining health. The constant scrutiny and pressure took a toll, but he never completely gave up on his music.
In 2001, he released Invincible, his first album of new material in 6 years. While it wasn't as commercially successful as his previous work, it showed that he was still pushing boundaries and exploring new sounds.
You Rock My World had a real R&B vibe. And the title track Invincible was this epic, almost futuristic anthem.
Exactly. He was experimenting with different genres and production techniques, blending elements of hip-hop, electronica, and orchestral music.
It's interesting how he never stayed in one lane musically. He was always evolving, always searching for new ways to express himself.
And despite the challenges he was facing, he still had this incredible drive to perform, to connect with his fans. In 2009, he announced a series of comeback concerts in London called This Is It.
I remember that announcement. There was so much excitement. A sense that Michael was ready to reclaim his throne.
The rehearsals were intense, but Michael was reportedly in great shape and full of energy. He was working with a talented team of dancers, musicians, and choreographers, and he was determined to deliver an unforgettable show.
Tragically, it wasn't meant to be.
On June 25, 2009, Michael Jackson died from cardiac arrest caused by an overdose of propofol, a powerful anesthetic. His death sent shockwaves around the world.
It was a devastating loss. Millions of fans mourned his passing, and tributes poured in from fellow artists and world leaders. It felt like the world had lost a part of itself.
Michael's death sparked a lot of conversations about the pressures of fame, the dangers of prescription drug abuse, and the often intrusive nature of celebrity culture. It was a tragic reminder of the human cost of fame.
Looking back on his life and career, it's clear that Michael Jackson was a complex and contradictory figure. On one hand, he was a musical genius, an innovator, and a global icon.
He revolutionized music videos, pushed the boundaries of pop music, and inspired generations of artists. His influence is still felt today.
But on the other hand, he was a deeply troubled soul, haunted by a difficult childhood, plagued by self-doubt, and constantly struggling with the pressures of fame. He craved privacy, but lived his life in the public eye.
It's a reminder that behind the icon, the dazzling performances, and the hit records, there was a real person with real emotions and real struggles.
I think his music reflects that duality.
Yeah.
You can hear the joy, the pain, the vulnerability, the defiance. It's all there.
Absolutely, and I think that's one of the reasons why his music continues to resonate with people around the world. It speaks to the human condition, to our shared experiences of love, loss, hope, and despair.
So as we wrap up this deep dive, I keep coming back to the question of legacy.
Right.
What will Michael Jackson's ultimate legacy be?
It's a question that will continue to be debated for years to come, but I think it's safe to say that he left an indelible mark on music and popular culture. He changed the game, and his influence will continue to be felt for generations to come.
His music is timeless, and his story, though tragic in many ways, is a testament to the power of creativity, the enduring allure of fame, and the complexities of the human heart.
Well, thanks for joining us on this journey. We hope it's given you a deeper understanding of Michael Jackson, the man, the artist, the legend.
And remember, as Michael himself once said, if you enter this world knowing you are loved, and you leave this world knowing the same, then everything that happens in between can be dealt with. Until next time, keep diving deep.